Yeah.
A bite. Hanging out with the kittens.
He was bitten by that rabid dog on the mountain.
During the ascent of Yimsha.
Sounds quite troublesome.
That. Yeah, I'm assuming more shall be divulged during the meeting. Well, if you had came with us, you would have known that that is not the case.
Those dogs were not normal dogs. They had this glowing, crazed eyes.
She looks over to Nakasha. No, you can't have one, Nakasha.
Believe me, if you were there, you would have thought differently.
Mm-hmm.
No. No. They were black dogs. They looked like normal dogs, only large and their eyes glowed.
Don't tell her.
This meeting isn't about strange dogs.
All those dogs were slain.
It seems all black dogs are pieces of shit assholes.
I would suggest that we all take this meeting fairly seriously, judging what the events have transpired over the last few days.
Okay, out of character. Before we begin, one quick note: the party is full. Someone made a space for me, and that person can watch the stream. They'll be okay. But do we have anyone else who is needing to join the party? Because we could try Discord. It's just very disruptive, so I don't want to.
I think we've got everyone, don't we?
Alright.
Pretty sure. Our spirit coming.
Well, if we get a significant number who are here and can't speak, then we might have to switch to Discord, so just be prepared.
Okay.
Alright. Now, in character. Welcome everyone. It is good to see so many faces here, my fellow exiles.
Greetings.
There's a great deal for us to cover, but before we go any further, if anyone needs food or drink, there is a refreshments chamber here with our finest. Any food and drinks you like, you can have there, though I suggest not taking too much Niket Cola until after the meeting.
Speaking of food and drink, would you mind if I handed out some wine that I recently made? My first batch ever, actually.
Oh, of course, Mateo. That would be lovely.
Is there somewhere?
I didn't say anything.
Very Red Rock Winery, yes?
Yes, of course. I will be putting the wine in the box on the left, if you do not mind.
Daravis, join me for a shot of absinthe.
Oh, of course.
And the preservation box on the left will be the wine from Mateo and the Red Rock. Very good.
Oh, yes, thank you very much.
To your health.
Well, thank
Nice.
you.
Congratulations, Mateo. Let's get a bit more light in here so we can see everyone.
It's pretty fucking good.
It's a very dark night outside.
What is happening?
And we will... Yes, we all hope so, Rom. Yes, well... let's begin with introductions for everyone. I shall speak first. I am Tanit Khwarizmi, the Grand Vizier of Niket. I am originally from Turan, where I was once a slave. My mother was from Iranistan. She too was a slave. I have lived in the exiled lands most of my life. Niket has given me every opportunity. I started as a lowly scout in the army, worked my way up through the ranks of the Medjai, and became a vizier one day. I have given my whole life to the service of Niket and to the exiled lands. Now, to my left, we will go around the table. To my left would be Captain Zapagar.
I am Captain Zapagar. What is that? Do you want me to tell my story?
Say something of who you are, where you are from, that sort of thing.
My father was a Kushite shaman and my mother was a Pict. I grew up in the Pictish wilderness until my village was attacked by Aquilonian raiders. I was made a slave and became a gladiator till I freed myself while being transported by ship. Then I became a pirate. And then I washed up here in the exiled lands.
And Zapagar has given the council a very important report, which, if you do not mind, I will read out to everyone once we are underway. If that is all right, Captain Zapagar.
That is alright.
Very good.
Next.
Mahigan, I'm aware that you are the prophet chosen by Jebel Sag to watch over these lands. Well, this is truly auspicious to have one chosen by the gods among us. Indeed.
I am Shamanic Tom. You can speak Vedic. I am Shamanic Tom. Of Jumbles Crack. That's all.
Thank you, Aurelius. I am Gilithane, current steward and second in command of the Nocturnal Order, formerly Master Hunter of the High Moon Lodge. I'm the Slayer of Aretusa. I was dishonoured by my clan in Sumeria and exiled for false claims of treason. I come from a humble beginning as a farmer's boy. I have worked for everything in my life, and I shall continue to do so. I submit and worship no god. Daenerys.
Alright. My name's Daenerys Dion. I am a man of very few words, so I will keep this short. I had abandoned the battlefield during a war, and I was prisoned. While I was awaiting my sentence, I saw a recognizable face, my brother, being dragged to the exiled lands. And once I was sentenced to the exiled lands, I had begun a quest of finding somewhere to settle down, until I had run into my brother and decided to stay with me.
You're the one speaking. For a moment I thought it was the man sitting on the table. And on the table, is that Hagen?
It is.
Ah, well Hagen, I'll have a proper chair pulled up for you.
Oh.
As well as, I can fit at least 2 more chairs here. Others may still have to stand, I'm afraid. There you are. Why don't you have a seat there and introduce yourself, Hagen? Ah, and thank you, Snow. That's very refreshing.
Yes, thank you.
What's the one on top of the cabinet there?
I'm Hagen. It's just Hagen. Former Dark Captain in another life. Sad details about past life. Yada yada yada. Alright, next.
Daenerys, take a seat.
Next would be Freydis.
You cannot have my ichor. It is mine now.
Locke, the son of Keys. Yes, that's very curious. I didn't know he had any children. He was, by all accounts, a very decent and reputable man. One with great designs for commerce in these lands. Ah, wonderful. Perhaps you and I should speak more once we are done here.
Order, fire me.
Meat, are you wearing a Godbreaker helmet?
Meat, that's
What?
you?
Oh, that's a fancy suit of armor.
Oh, Father. I can't hear anything in there. I can't see either. I stumbled halfway here.
Thank you, Snow.
Hi,
That's very nice.
I'm Meat. Chief Meat now. I live in the Highlands. I sell men. That's it.
How much?
I forgot, but Brokey will tell me later, so, you know. But I got hit by a rhino and didn't even feel it.
Well, it makes his voice much deeper. I kind of like it.
Should I put it back on?
Sure.
Oh yeah, I don't know what's happening. I just decided to introduce myself. It's pretty hot in this thing, too.
She elbows Nukasha in the side. It's your turn. Introduce yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah, the animals and men thing, I do that too.
Tanit would, one
We
of
could be
her
friends!
one of her bodyguards would taste the wine that Snow has served before drinking it. Who is next?
Yes. Well, to those who don't know me, my name is Tyona. My past is not important. I am here as the newly appointed advisor to the Sultanate cause, and I represent the Sultanate here at this meeting. I'll tell you a bit of our plans for the future. We're planning on opening a university of sorts to expand the knowledge throughout the people of the lands here. And we will be sending out word shortly. Other than that, I am just here as the ears of the Sultanate and to provide answers to any questions that anyone has for future development.
You look really good, by the way, Tyler, huh?
You seem surprised.
Yeah, you normally just wear regular clothes.
Nothing about me is regular meat.
Well, but your clothes were.
Indeed, you do look splendid, fitting a woman of your station. Congratulations, and it is very good to have someone representing the Sultanate here. Each of the
Poke yourself on the shoulder pad?
Each of the major kingdoms really should have a seat at the table, as this is a matter that affects all. I have been in correspondence with Kaz, and look forward very much to speaking with him about his plans as well. I've also been in contact with advisor Zahab about the plans for New Armisar, and we have representatives of the Wildlands here, of course. So all of the major kingdoms are at least connected.
Right. Well, my name is Matteo Vivaldi. I am the resident winemaker and brewer of the Red Rock with Kralik over there. As you have all tried the wine earlier, I would like to ask for your feedback later. Not now, of course, as you're kind of busy. But I am from Zingara, and I was run out by rebels, and found myself here. Kralik was nice enough to show me hospitality and kindness in these savage lands, which is a very welcomed thing in my book. That is all.
Yes, very good. Well, again, very good to have everyone. And the woman who is providing refreshment with her fan and serving drinks, excuse me, not the woman. Excuse me. The man who is providing refreshments and serving drinks to everyone, that is Snow. At least that is the name he chooses for himself.
Hi, Snow.
Yes. Now, I would like to get straight to the main business of why we are here. Events that have taken place, which we need to know more about. And then we can also speak of other affairs of the lands if there is time. But I will read first from the report that Captain Zapagar has given. Captain Zapagar was recently entrusted to lead a secret mission by myself and the Niket Council. A mission of the utmost urgency, given the Kari tablets, which I'm sure you have all seen, and the choice that we were forced to make as a result of this. Anyway, here's the report from Zapagar. We had infiltrated the fortress of Yimsha. We faced many dangers and some fell. We managed to free a knight named Marcellus and a woman named Zoya. We faced the master of Yimsha and his dark arts. He attempted to control our minds, but we managed to break free. Suddenly Nephitamun blew a hole in the wall. The two sorcerers fought until suddenly a third sorcerer appeared. They stabbed Nephitamun with a strange spear, and the mummy began to disintegrate, but managed to fly away. His fate is unknown. The third sorcerer weakened the master of Yimsha enough for me to finish him. The third man revealed himself to be Thothamon. He also had some kind of powerful black demon at his command. We were able to grab the Staff of Set, I assume you mean the Staff of the Serpent Men, and Skula's loincloth. That property of Her Holiness. Thothamon took the rest and fled. My party and I have decided to keep these artifacts hidden away for now, while we decide what is best done with them. Well, ladies and gentlemen, these are momentous tidings indeed. First of all, Captain Zapagar, you say you were able to finish the Master of Yimsha. Then is he dead and gone? Zapagar? Or anyone else who was there? Can you enlighten us?
May I speak?
Yes, Gilfin.
Yes, so the events that transpired are accurate to the report. We believe the Master of Yimsha and their servants to be, well, as far as the servants that were present, including the one of the worshippers of Yimsha and the soldiers that were present at the castle itself, to be perished. The battle itself that transpired was a bloody one, and many sacrifices were made both physically and mentally by the party, and we hope that the decision that was made with the artifacts pleases the court.
Well, that you faced a bloody and fearsome struggle, of that I have no doubt, and that there were losses and sacrifices, surely that is true as well. Those who have survived this mission will be rewarded following this council. But as you know, people are very hard to kill in these lands. The cursed bracelet for one thing, but powerful sorcerers are even more so hard to kill, as anyone who has seen Mekkamosi's head in a bowl can attest, or as anyone who has seen Nephitamun can attest. Who else was there when the Master of Yimsha was struck down? And do you believe him to be permanently dead? Well, him too, do you believe either of them to be permanently dead? And what of the Master of Yimsha? Was anyone else there, firsthand?
Sounds like the threat may be still prominent in these lands if you're not sure it's been vanquished.
The horrors within that the horrors within that fortress were indescribable. There's no way that I can explain it that will get across the horrors that we observed there, the demons that we faced, the uncertainness. It was by all means unholy and unethical. I hope that the Master of Yimsha has perished through all my intentions and every fibre of my being. Do I know for sure? No. However, with the intervention of Nefetamun and then Thalthamon, my heart is more at rest with the thought of the Master of Yimsha gone.
So, out of character, during the event, the narration actually told you all that you saw the Master of Yimsha flying away on a bat. You would have seen that. Flying away on a bat to go past the green wall and leave the exiled lands.
I forgot. Out of character, I was too busy fighting golems to see that, so I might have not heard that.
He raises his hand.
One moment, meet. So, I don't know what the final count was of the adventurers who went on this mission. I know we had Zapagar, Aurelius, we had Zapagar's man, Hammerhead, we had Gilithane. I know there were some others, perhaps they didn't survive, but Spirit.
Akuri. Shinami, Akuri.
Akuri. Shinami. Yeah. It's too bad that more of them are not here, if they did survive.
They're probably dead.
No, Spirit's definitely alive. I had conversed with her earlier after. We had travelled afterwards to the Lion's Valor with Marcellus, who was a prisoner at New Yimsha, who myself, Aurelius, and Shinami managed to free. We accompanied them back, and yeah, they're definitely alive, and obviously Hagen is too.
Was Hagen part of the mission?
Fucking mic was off.
Zapagar, are you out of your trance?
Yes.
Yes, I'll allow Zapagar to give his full account, in case I missed any key details.
I feel like, since we do not know where to find the Master of Yimsha, we do not know where to find Thathaman, but Nefetamun lives in his pyramid. We could infiltrate this pyramid and see what's left of him. And if he is dead, we might find some powerful magics there that might help us deal with those other two sorcerers.
So you're of the opinion that the Master of Yimsha is still alive, but has fled these lands, is that right?
I saw him fly away on a bat, you see.
Oh, well that solves that. Well, hopefully he never comes back, but we must be prepared for that possibility. As for Nefertamun, our scouts have reported that the pyramid has gone dark in recent days. There are no longer undead prowling outside. It is a very dramatic change from before, when those sands were infested with the living dead. There are no longer unearthly lights that glow on the outside.
Cute. Maybe he is dead after all.
I would propose that we investigate and destroy anything we can, any artifacts that are there, or any form of dark magics that are still present, to prevent any of the other sorcerers in the land taking advantage of those committing such heinous acts as those that we saw upon New Yimsha.
The realm of Neket will not be taking part in any such action. For one thing, we have a treaty with the Pharaoh of Sepharminit. For another, going into Kari tombs is, well, it's something to be avoided unless strictly necessary, since many of those who have done so have not come back, or if they have come back, they died soon after from mysterious curses.
I see.
But if you are wanting to take that risk on your own, or speak to companions about it, of course I cannot stop you.
We shall see.
What about the Necronomicon that was in Nefertamun's possession?
It escaped my notice. It escaped my notice what had come of it. Perhaps it was in his clutches when he flew away on his carpet disintegrating.
It was certainly in his possession when he made his grand appearance.
It was.
Well, I admit that is very disturbing, that it is now missing, or who knows? Who knows if he made it back to his tomb, or if he met his end on the outside. I would hate to think that either Thothamon or the master of Yimsha's servants could get their hands on that dreadful tome. As for the other artifacts, you said that you retrieved the staff of the Serpent Men and the loincloth of Her Holiness.
Indeed.
What exactly... You said you wish to keep them hidden away for now.
Yes.
While you decide what is done with them. Why don't we have that discussion? What do we think should be done with them?
I don't think too many here should know what exactly we do with them. It's the issue. I think we should hide them away.
That is a fair point, that secrecy is probably our best bet for keeping these things safe. However, one of them is...
the staff safe for you.
However, one of them is also the personal effect of the prophetess of Derketo. Surely that should be returned to her.
So it can be stolen by another lover of hers.
Exactly.
Well, here in Neket we worship Holy Derketo, and such an artifact is sacred. We believe that it should be returned to Prophetess Skula through the route of pilgrimage.
Am I wearing it? You would certainly know if I was.
I myself have observed the effects of such an artifact, and I believe they're far too dangerous to be left up to the chances of...
This would be an orgy, not a meeting.
Meat raises his hand again.
Could we destroy them?
By your own admission, it is a sacred relic of Derketo, then, if it inspires people to divine lust.
There's nothing divine about that. With all due respect.
Yes, on that we certainly disagree, but we are tolerant of your views.
Well, I don't.
And I am tolerant of yours. I did not mean no disrespect.
Meat is keeping his hand with.
As for the staff of the Serpent Men, that is a deeply treacherous thing. Never was there a more evil or hateful race towards humans. I would greatly fear for what becomes of such a thing. I will not ask the person holding either relic to identify themselves here, but I would ask that they contact me after this in private, and we can determine the best course of action.
Mead raises his hand.
Yes, Meat.
I don't know what's happening. All I know is that there's magic underwear, a creepy book, a pyramid, and a dead guy.
Yes,
Sometimes
Mead.
it is best to keep our ignorance in your own mouth.
So may I add something?
Well, now, Iktomi, I understand this is all very complicated. We have multiple sorcerers with plans that are perhaps centuries, if not millennia, in the making, in the works.
You see, I didn't understand most of those words.
Mohican, tell them our plan.
Wouldn't it be pointless to tell them that? Because then they would all know. And I'm not telling them the dumb plan you had.
Well, I have something to add if I'm allowed.
I'm not curious.
Excuse me, my good sir.
Yes, I was saying, I have no doubts in Niket's skill of, well, ability to keep things safe. If it is a relic of Derketo, I think it should be stored here, but not worn at the leisure of Skula. I'm sure they have ways to store things and keep them well protected. This may be the safest place to store anything here. We entrust all of our coin to this place.
Oh, thank you, Tayona. These are rational words indeed. However, we do not want the staff of the Serpent Men. That is not a risk that the Council is prepared to take.
I still don't get why there's so much fuss over magic underwear.
Alright, Meat, and for everyone, let me explain what the significance of all this is. We have learned that there are several powerful relics in these lands called the Artifacts of Power. Now, they may have powers on their own individually that reflect their creators, their history, and so forth. All of them are of potent magic. But if anyone were ever to combine all of these relics together, to put them in one place, if that person were a sorcerer with the right know-how, they could perform what is known as the Ritual of Domination. That would turn all of you into their slaves for eternity. The bracelet on your wrist would compel you to serve them.
Well, that's stupid. Why are we wearing them then?
Take yours off, Meat, please.
Many of us have been forced to wear them.
We are wearing the bracelets because that is Thothamon's plan. He sends people here. He created the exiled lands. They're fitted with these bracelets, and as they struggle to survive here, they uncover treasures that he wants. Then he sends the purges to collect said treasures.
I have another question.
Yes,
Who's Thothamon?
As I said, he's the man who created the exiled lands. He is the lord of the Black Ring of Stygia, and it makes my skin crawl to speak of such things openly. These are the most powerful... No. These are the most powerful magic users in the world. Without a doubt now, especially as Thothamon has defeated Yimsha and Nefertamun, as well as earlier
my skin
the
crawls
White
at the
Hand.
mention of his name.
Wow,
But
that
yes,
guy sounds like...
Thothamon is the true power in Stygia, we believe. King Stefan may have some influence of his own, but we believe that the king is mostly a figurehead for the Black Ring.
You lost me again, but that's okay. I'm done asking questions for now.
I can speak firsthand of the power of Thothamon as I suffered the fate of his touch. Instantly, life was withdrawn from my body as I felt myself slip away, and even now I still feel an emptiness inside. This is definitely not something to be taken trivially.
His touch, you say? Was his hand black with corruption when he touched you?
Yes, it was towards the end he challenged the party to either submit and let him take the artifacts, or to take a chance to obtain them, and challenge him and his servant.
Yes, the servant. Well, you were touched with the black hand of death, which is one of the most feared spells used among the darksome mages of Stygia. If it were not for the bracelets, then of course you would be in the afterlife now.
Of course.
It was brave of you to step forward first, Gilthane.
But as dreadful as his sorcery is, what gives Thothemon his power is the serpent ring of Set, which he found long ago in these lands, in the Unnamed City, in fact. The serpent ring of Set allows him to call upon the servant of the ring, which I believe is the terrible demon that you faced. Would you all speak to us of this demon? What aspect it took?
It was solid black with spikes and claws. It moved quickly, but with such power, I could hardly hold it back with my shield.
You're lucky to have survived as well. We know that it was the servant of the ring that killed the Shadow Master at Bar no Toge. At least the previous Shadow Master. And he was, well, a slippery one who could not easily be killed by others.
Jaws are something.
So you fought against the servant and you survived.
Yes.
Do you know if it has any weaknesses?
I do not. My sword seemed to do nothing.
And is it true that it can simply appear at any moment out of the darkness, out of thin air?
Seems that way.
That is dreadful indeed.
It was certainly a surprise to see Thothemon and his dark servant.
Yes, well, for some reason, Thothemon did not kill you all where you stood.
Perhaps he ran away.
Do you really think so, Zapagar? If you were unable to harm the servant, or him, then why would he run away?
That is a good question.
Did he say anything to you all?
His directive was pretty clear, that soon he shall return, and the people of the exiled lands will either bow down to him or suffer his fate, or suffer the fate of his wrath.
Do you think something happened in the battle you said happened with Nefet? Maybe Toth was weakened as well.
Perhaps. It was hard to see what was going on in that battle, though. They were flying around, shooting spells at each other.
Thothemon appeared to apparate out of nowhere and drove his spear right through Nefetamun. So there wasn't much Thothemon. I don't believe Thothemon was weakened in any way. There was no significant, well, there was no retaliation, there was no chance to.
I see.
It was completely unexpected.
Yes, and when you mention that weapon, that gives me a certain suspicion. There was a weapon that was used before.
These sorts of things can take its toll on the user.
There was a weapon that was used before in the Demon Wars. It was brought forth by Nefertamun himself to banish Kor the Accursed. This relic, this was the scepter of the god Inepu. Inepu, known as Anubis to some, is a god within the Stygian pantheon of Set. He is a god who has jurisdiction over mummies and the dead, over funerary matters. If Thothemon somehow gained that weapon, then perhaps that is what he used against Nefertimoon, but I cannot say for sure. It is only a suspicion. Well, that is indeed what we were told at the end of the war, that it would be returning to the underworld, but perhaps it was last in the hands of Nefertimoon when anyone saw it. The only other person to wield that scepter was a man called Dren, a man who during the Demon Wars was anointed as the champion of Set. Well, that gets us a bit off topic, but Thothomon then intends to return and complete his conquest to rule the exiled lands directly as he sees it. From the battle that took place, he would have gained the cult mask of Dagon, as well as the vial of Hyli's blood, corrupted blue blood. These will have augmented his powers. Thankfully, your group was able to secure the staff and the loincloth, and the Necronomicon was not taken by him. So, things could be worse. But this means that a terrible doom is coming for these lands, and for us all. I believe we must now think about doing everything we can to prepare for the coming of Thothomon. It is clear that he and the other masters in Stygia, that they see the exiled lands as nothing more than their prison and their source of slaves. They see all of you as slaves, to serve their will, to find treasures for them. You were cast out from the outer world. Basically, you're seen as expendable fodder. You're seen as despicable scum. You're abandoned. You're exiles.
I was born here, though. That's really mean to say.
But you wear one of Thothomon's bracelets, don't you?
Well, yeah, I didn't get it from you.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter to him. But this is the vision of the exiled lands that we have always struggled against. The vision of it as some sort of prison for scum and lowlifes where the worst people are sent, where there can never be any kind of civilization, any kind of order, any kind of prosperity. There cannot be art or culture. And that is what we have always resisted. We have always tried to do the opposite here. We have held that our land is sacred, that we worship the gods, that we struggle and sacrifice, and that we give meaning to our lives, that we can create legacies that are lasting and meaningful. So I would turn to all of you now, fellow exiles. I would call upon you to strengthen these lands, to prepare in your own way for the greatest enemy that we have ever faced. That means those of you who are part of kingdoms, or who can help to serve the kingdoms. You should do everything you can to shore up their foundations, to ensure that they have a healthy population, a strong defense, that they have robust institutions, much as we must do here in Neket. Those who are part of guilds, or who are capable of starting them, well, look to the interests of your guild, see that they are ready. Or to your own clans and holdings, but do so always within relation to your fellow exiles. Make sure that you are trading, that you are sharing information as you see fit amongst each other, planning for the future, building your networks here. And I will say that here in Neket we are also looking for help. That is something that has never changed. There is room for talented people here to help us to build and to prepare. And perhaps there are those among you who will sit on thrones one day yourself, who will also be leaders in these lands. I would encourage all of you to think and to dream of what your potential may be. Don't be just what Thothamon wants you to be mere prisoners and slaves, to be outcasts. Make yourself something more. Make yourself something better. But now I have certainly spoken enough. I will open the floor to the rest of you.
I have a question.
I have opened the floor. You may speak freely.
Oh, okay. Does this mean I have to sell more men?
Well, to touch on that, Meat, I would think so. We must be prepared for the danger that looms ahead. So, prepare your finest men.
Okay, so more men. Alright. I had another question, but I forgot what it was. I was looking at something.
Well, to touch on what Tanit was speaking of, as I announced myself earlier, we are planning to build this university to enrich the skills of everyone here, so that we may be well prepared to face any adversity that looms ahead.
I have another question. Can you use smaller words? I have another question.
I'm sorry, I'm not able to.
Can you use smaller words?
Well, if I was able to, then I would. But we will be opening a school to help teach each and every one of you, if you wish, to expand your skills and to learn more things.
Whatever becomes of the staff should be chosen by a Pict. It was by Gel it was originally protected, and it should remain such.
Do I go home now?
I would disagree with that. I believe that the artifact should remain with the party of those who made the sacrifice to make that decision.
And within your party, is there not a Pict?
There is. That pact
Then
I
my
trust.
statement stands.
Why do we
I
not
don't
just
know.
destroy the artifacts?
Is
It
that
is
even
not
possible?
destroyable.
Do you know where we pulled that staff from? In the depths of the volcano. It cannot be destroyed. It wants to be found. It calls out to anyone, begging them to reach for it, to touch it, to hold it, to use it.
Did you try throwing a big rock on it?
I can tell you now that the short time it was in my possession, it felt heavy in hand. It was an overwhelming experience.
Pride
Why
of
don't we
all
just
does
throw
not
them in the
have
ocean?
anything to do with these.
So Dagon's kind can acquire it?
What's Dagon?
He is the fish god.
I think you need this school
There's a
more than
fish
anyone
god?
Meat.
Dagon is the old and terrible god of the deeps, of the sea. Yes, indeed, his cult has great power. He once destroyed the exiled lands and killed most of the people here. I certainly think that allowing the artifacts to fall into Dagon and his cult's hands would be a bad idea.
Why not give him the snow?
Why would
The
we do that?
artifacts will remain with those who found them.
The vanquishers.
Yeah, but snow's not evil. They're not going to do anything with him.
That would be a decision that we would need to come to together as one.
Whatever your decision, the artifact should remain separated.
Wait, you're
And
not going to give that
secret.
lady her magic underwear back? But it's hers. Yeah, but the underwear's hers, you creep.
The underwear is hers, and this is also sacred to Derketo, so it should be returned.
Who steals
I
someone's
support that.
underwear?
Mech?
Mech.
Well, that
Who's
brings me to something else I did Thank you for reminding me. Something else that we should speak of. We understand that Mech was gifted this intimate loincloth by Skula after one of their romantic trysts. It was a gift, but Mech made it a gift in turn to the Master of Yimsha. Now why would Mech do this? I believe, after debriefing Zoya, our priestess, I at last may have an answer. You see, when she was made a captive of Yimsha, Zoya was brainwashed. Her mind was thoroughly warped and twisted by the Master to serve his interests. It was Zoya that caused Sultan Khalid to raid Nefertamun's pyramid tomb, which is what caused Nefertamun to be angry at the exiles in the first place. If Zoya had not done this, we would be living in a different world, and she did this at Yimsha's direction. Now we know that the Black Circle of Yimsha was abducting others from across the lands. That others were imprisoned there in those horrible cells of their tower. We don't know how many of these other prisoners were brainwashed in the same way. That is to say, we don't know how many other sleeper agents could be out there, still serving the interests of Yimsha.
Hagen.
I have another question. I already forgot my question, I'm sorry.
Somebody say my name?
Yes, why
Tiana looks at me with
did
eyes
you
that
say
have you been
Hagen's name,
brainwashed?
Zephyr?
He was captured.
Yes, after his plummet from the cliffside. We found him in the dungeon.
I remember my question.
Hagen,
Who is
what?
Zoya?
Hagen, Zoya is a priestess of Derketo. She is a citizen of Niket, one of our people. She was abducted by the Black Seers and brainwashed. Now, Hagen, can you tell us details about your captivity in Yimsha?
There's not a lot of detail. Fell off a mountain. The party abandoned me, and I thought I was going to die, and when I passed out, I woke up in a cell.
Well, tell us something only the real Hagen would know.
I don't like you. Not that way.
Believable.
But Marcellus was there, and I believe I saw Zoya after I was released. But that's all that I really know.
And how were you released?
Was it Gilithane and Aurelius? Tsunami?
Yeah, Tsunami.
Yeah.
Ah,
Well,
so you were only captive for a short time then.
I believe
Well,
Marcellus might be the man to answer your questions, as he was captive for... He appeared to be captured for a much longer time.
We must...
Attack.
He would certainly be someone to speak to. Also, we know that Castel was captured previously. Castel, the priest of Derketo of the Golden Orchard in the Highlands. No one
is safe.
No one has heard from him in quite some time. Now Zoya, she has confessed, she has come clean. Could she still be mentally conditioned by sorcery? We have no way of knowing, but she has helped us, and the Master of Yimsha was angry enough to rip out her heart in front of everyone.
Yeah, that was a sight to behold. How is Zoya's recovery doing?
I believe she's deeply scarred by her experiences, but physically, she is on the mend.
Perfect. We'll pass on our regards.
Yes, thank you. Hagen, you are a close associate of Mex, aren't you?
I am.
Where is Mech now?
I couldn't tell you. I haven't heard from him in a while. And I didn't see his little building out in the Highlands anymore. I don't know.
So Mech has disappeared. That is very troubling.
I do not think Mick is killable.
Who died?
He seemed rather strange to me when I met him.
Yes, he seemed to be ranting like an unhinged madman. Well, not so much ranting as just unhinged. The last few appearances that he made. Well, more than usual. He seemed to have disassociated himself from Mech. He no longer believed he was Mech.
Oh yes, I remember him. He was supposed to come with us, wasn't he? Originally, in the original meeting, where the party was formed.
Oh, I was supposed to go, but I forgot.
Well,
yes, mate, we could have used your assistance.
Thank you for reminding me to bring up the topic of the sleeper agents, as that is something we all need to be on watch for. At this time, I would like to speak privately with Zapogar and Aurelius, Hagen, Gilithane, anyone else who was part of the mission, so I can give you a reward. Please come with me.
Spirit is here also.
Oh, yes.
But out of character is not in the party.
Yes, please come with me back into the refreshments room, and we will speak in private.
Is this meeting adjourned?
To see some names so I can add people here. To get everyone in this party. Who's in here?
Zapogar is here.
Yeah, can you add the others? Not yet.
Wait. I don't remember how to do this again.
I can't even see the nameplates for some reason.
Yeah, I'm having the same problem. I've been having that problem really since right before the meeting. Can't really. I can see him every now and then, but it's really weird. No. It's everyone but Gilithane and Aurelius. Man, Zapogar, I can't believe you questioned who I was. Can't tell.
I couldn't see your nameplate, and you're wearing a hood.
Well, you were talking about the real Hagen, and I'm like, the real Hagen. I think I'm an imposter.
Yeah. Tell me something only the real Hagen would do.
I don't like you like that.
I've been blue screened 9 times.
Spirit!
Hi.
Tell me something only the real Spirit would know.
Oh my goodness. Okay, you gotta stop.
I don't trust anyone. You're all imposters.
Zephyr, please put that away.
You sleep with a man.
That's like such a grand
Everyone
statement.
knows that.
I sleep with 3 men. That's the problem.
Oh, nothing. Nothing at all.
3? I mean, that's... I
Yes,
guess that's impressive.
I have 3 husbands.
Blue screened again.
Oh, who does that remind me of? Meg was telling me that one time. Soraya. Can't remember how to pronounce the name. Zamorian Queen.
Did you get these two in the party?
Yeah, it says they're added.
They may not have gotten a PlayStation notification though.
Oh crap.
Blue.
There's still an Oasis pool party. One chat.
Nobody touched Spirit while she's sleeping. I got my eye on you, Hagen.
I don't do that. Why do you think I... I will kill you one day.
I'd like to see you try.
Oh, no, see, I play the long game.
I play the quick game.
Of course you.
And that's why you would lose. I would battle you in a game of wits, but you're clearly unarmed.
Am I though?
Yes, yeah, you saying that just...
Seriously.
Thank you for being you.
Why are they not joining?
I don't really know. Do you want me to hop in and tell them to join, or...?
Yeah.
So it looks like they're not in the other one either.
Oh, huh.
I'm starting to wish I cashed in on that bounty.
That was a bogus bounty.
But it was a big one.
Oh, I'm gonna stop the stream. Thanks for watching.
You're welcome.